Hi, this is Reese from CreataCRM, and this is a video on getting started with job management. And through this video, I'll be going through for the job management team on how they can actually create jobs, navigate through jobs using templates, and then working through to the task management as well. So when people are going to be using job management, usually it's their single purpose role when they're using jobs. Now what we've done for this demo, I've created a user called jobs and just hidden the navigations for this particular job user. Now if you're a person who does all elements of the business, which is sales, jobs, you probably have more options, but this is an example on how we can hide and view certain specific things so the job management team just see the things that they need to do. Now in this one here, with the default view of job management button comes here, and when the users log in, they just get an overview of the jobs that are in the pipeline. These are open jobs. Open jobs are jobs that haven't been completed, and we will go through on another section of what an open job and a closed job is. For this one here, we have jobs that go through stages, and from here the first stage is unassigned. Now we go through the next stage is assigned, progress, and finish. Now this is the default settings inside the database. Now all these job stages can be customized for your needs, and we'll go through another documentation, and there is documentation on how to change the job type statuses for your particular needs. Now these are the open jobs, and there are things called on-hold jobs. On-hold jobs, if you do job management, many times there will be on-hold jobs that you need to know that they're there, but they're not active at the moment. So pretty much when you get to the finished job is that you're finished, and when we get to the finished stage of the job, it would require someone like the administration team to get to that finished job and complete it and mark it off and pretty much send an invoice into your accounting system is likely the best thing, or you can finish it yourself. So in this view, we'll go through, you've got bubbles. Now the bubbles tell you you've got a count of 0 unassigned, and here you've got 2, so there's 2 progress jobs. Now if I click on this card itself, it will show me those 2 progress jobs that you have there, and you have a percentage complete on them. We'll go through that in another part of the video. The other elements you have here is that you can create a new job. Now you can create a new job on the different stages. Now if you're doing a support job and you're now starting a job, you can just simply click on the plus button and that will start a pop-up screen, and you have a couple of formats you can do. One is you can click a new job, and that will give you an empty job straight away that is marked as progress. The other element you have is that you have things like job templates that will display. Job templates is predefined job templates that the management team have displayed. So we have another part of the training in the end. We'll go through how to create a job template, but these job templates are already being designed. So if I click on end of month checklist, I can create a job in progress of end the month checklist. Now that's going to bring all the checks and balances of the template. Now if I go and save and view that, the particular activities on that particular job template, so when you look at all of the activities, they've actually listed in that in this particular job with all the tasks connected to them. So this particular job was a monthly end checklist for a BAS company that would have to email and send stock reports, sales enter, and do all these particular tasks for a job, and they would do this every month. So this would help them actually find the allocated time is 3 hours to do this, and here's the list of tasks that you've got to do and tick off, for example. Now we'll go into the detail of all the elements of this particular job later, but the other section we have here in this job process overview is that we can obviously click on the project timeline, and that's where you have a collection of jobs, and that's pretty much you can create project templates where you have a collection of jobs, so you can have a Gantt view and build all the dependencies from that, and you can go in and out of the projects and the jobs to identify all the jobs and all the projects in here. So I click on that button to go back. So now the last part is the on hold section here, as these are jobs that are on hold. You can single click on the jobs that are on hold, and you, for example, if you want, you go, now I can now move this person back into progress, and save and close that. And now I've got none on hold and I continue going through the jobs itself. Okay, so I hope that helps the first stage of just the basic overview of jobs, and we'll go through the other elements very shortly. Hi, this is Reese again for the second video of getting started with the job deck. So let's have a look at the job deck. So we're going to first start off with the overview pages of what we started with, and we have got this overview page that you've already been discussed. The next thing we're going to look at is the deck itself. There's 2 points that you can do to open a deck, which is in the overview page, which is here, and there's an open deck, or if you see in the home page, there's a deck here as well. Both will go to the deck, which is where the job organizer is. I'm going to click on the open deck, and here's the job organizer that displays here. Now with the job organizer, it's more of a granular view. Now what that means is that, yes, it still shows up the stages of the jobs and puts them in the order. But what it also does, it shows you the list view or swimming lanes of each of the items in there, so you can drag and drop. Now the key thing for the deck, you have the ability to move it around really quickly and organize it. So you can move them up and down the particular sections here. Now the other things you can do is you can order the next one in line for you. So you will just do the top. So it's a good one for you to manage. Now you have 2 drop-down menus up the top here. One is the users, which you can select the users. If I choose admin, it will display all the admins. If I choose jobs, it will display the job user, or all users. The other statuses here is you've got the not started job organizers, the started, the finished, closed, and on hold. Now you go through and go through the other training documents to find out what they are, but in essence the idea is that you've got the ones that are not started, they're on hold, and then you've got things like started, and then finishes for the accounting teams to invoice, and then close means they have been invoiced. Now there are a couple of things you may want to be interested in. You've got things here, you've got little zigzag or arrow or square elements here. That means that if you drag certain elements into those sections, saying invoiced or not invoiced, they are containers that the next time you go out of the screen and go back into the screen, they will disappear from the view completely. So these 2 ones, which is in the finished section, will be completely removed. Now they are not going to be removed from the database, they'll just be removed from the deck only. So it speeds up, because the more items you have in here, the slower it's going to load. So we have optimized it not to display the finished items in the deck in the section. Now we'll explain a bit more on the values here. So you've got here the month checklist, that's the title of the actual job. Then you've got the blue items, which are 1 of 10. See, there's a tick box here. That means it's a task and you've done 1 out of 10 of the tasks. That gives you a view, without going into the actual job, that there's still 9 tasks still to complete. The other points is we have timers here. We can time on every element of the job. You can time on the job itself or time on the task itself, and that means you can have a granular view of how long it takes you to do each of those tasks. Now we'll go through that in one of the videos coming up. Now the other element here is you've got a section here where you can create a new job on progress, test job, and you can hit the enter key, and that creates a test job really quickly, and you can drag and drop and make it very simple for you to create a job on the fly. Now you've got things that in this deck here. If I click on, see there's a blank here, I'm going to go and click on that and then click on the edit button to edit that contact. If, for example, I type in CreataCRM, select, now I'm going to save and close. You can see the actual organization view here, where you can see the organization so you know who the person is in the deck itself. So what you've got here is a nice easy swimming lanes that you can drag and drop and easily see of all users or just all the particular jobs that is signed for yourself. Now that's pretty much the deck itself. It's there to speed up your processing of jobs, giving you an easy single view and drag and dropping into different stages. Hope that helps, and I'll show you in the next video very shortly. Hi, this is Reese from CreataCRM, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can use the jobs detail view inside of Creator. So we're going to start off with the job overview page. Now, the previous videos we've discussed what this view is and what the deck is. Now we're going to be going through and just creating a job and explaining what elements are in the job itself. So let's go from here, and we're going to click on the green button and create a new job. Now, I already explained here, you have the ability to create a job from templates or a new job here. I'm going to create a new job, and we'll create a new job. Now, the first one is the title of the job. Great, this is a test job. The number here is going to be not important to you. It's just going to get the incremented number, the next highest number of the job numbering system. The title itself, job type, is actually the one that you can design itself. Now, if you press this search button in here and search for the jobs, you've got items you can have types, they get different colors. So if I click on a new button for a type, I can say test. And that's a test type that you can have. The progress one here already that we have, and I already explained that. More of advanced features, but that's the stage. Now I press the green plus button, so that's going to go straight to progress. Now I can either search a person in the database or add a contact. Now, if I type in the contact section and the company or primary company is connected to it, I can select that and it will automatically default to the company itself. So I've typed in Reese, and because Reese is in CreataCRM, it's going to put that in the company section, so you don't need to double entry. Now this next section important here is assign users. Now it doesn't default and save to you as a user, because it's going to be blank straight away if you don't fill anything in, because it's a resource management system, so you may not have assigned it yourself. So we're going to now add it to, let's say, the job user. Now in this system you can have multiple users as well, so you can assign it to multiple people so it can display on their deck, which is the previous video. Now the other elements are schedule, start and stop, where you can actually put this into a calendar and give the timing of this. So you can increase the time on this and add some more time to 4 hours, and that will increase it in the calendar in the job section. You've got the allocated time section as well. The allocated time is how long you expect to take on this particular job, which we say 3 hours. So it really gives the person a good indication what happens. Job start and finish is when you start the job and finish your job. The other things are these are calculated fields, which is total time spent, and that's when you stop the job and gives you calculated time. Location in here is the location of the, I won't click on that because I haven't saved it yet, is the location of the actual job itself, and you can locate where it is and put a map on it as well. Okay, now we're going to go and save and close this and to have a better view of it. So you can color code these users. You've got job user and the sales user, and you've got things like in these buttons here, change address. Address is going to grab all the addresses inside of CreataCRM and they've reached the user. You can choose the address here to put an address in the actual location, which brings the location section here. Now the other things you can do now is you can create tasks. Now you've got tabs here for tasks, which is my task, or tasks, deliverables, comments and actionables. Now we'll go through the basics of the CreataCRM. You've got the my task section that you can create a new task in here. You've got either a drop down menu, and you can add other elements here. And job management gets quite in depth, so this is an overview, so I won't be going into creating deliverables or expenses or different things. We're just going to keep to the basics here. So we'll click on a new task here, and we'll just create a test task and save and close. So that shows you just there's one task in here that you can tick off, and you can select here and you've got all tasks in here as well. Now the other things you've got is comments. We'll cover into here where you can make a comment on this particular job just to help out that. There is a general comment on this. This is for internal reasons, and you can save that. Okay, so now once you've created one task, the next thing you can do is start timing on these particular tasks. Now you have a play button here. If you press the play button, that will highlight in yellow. Now what you can do now is you can now make notes on this particular job. You have a timer note in here that you can click on here just to make notes on the particular job, and you can fill in details of the actual description. I'm just going to do some gobbledygook in here. Now from that will time as we go through. Now when I press the stop button, which will change the actual square to triangle, it will pop up an activity type. An activity type is the time you have. So I'm just going to say that I had a meeting on this job, and it brought in the note that I had, and I'm going to go save and close. So now that will stop the actual job itself. So from that, notice it's yellow now. It means that the job is started, and now we've got a activity type is started on the job. It's in progress. You haven't finished it because you've started the job. It's changed it from not started to started, and you've got a time here which was 0.1 on the activity. So it's now starting to time on the job. Now you can press start again and go stop, and that will time it in. Now the other interesting thing about it is that for job management, it's a really good collaboration tool. So in the section here in the in the drop down users section, and click on users, I can actually see that Reese, is on a test task in this, and any users here, admin or sales, can actually click on that task when they review, and they can see how long you spend. So it's a good office collaboration tool to see what you're doing. So as I go through, I'm going to press stop. Now the second time you press stop, it will not pop up a screen. It will default to that particular activity. And so now you've got 0.2, and you've timed it and finished that particular job. Now what you do is you hover your mouse button over the green tick and clear it off. Now, you don't have to time it, but it's a nice to have, and that will give you the ability to time the activities and so forth. Now you've finished a job, you can then click on the edit drop down menu, change it to I have finished this job, save and close, and now what happens is that is now on this finish section. And as you know beforehand in the previous videos, if you go to the deck, and we're going to click on the job deck, it's in the finish section in here, our users, and see here 101 task is now 2.23 has been done, and it's ready. It's been finished, so it's ready for someone to invoice it and close it off. Now we'll go through the invoice later, but that's how you manage your jobs in the detail view. Hi, this is Reese from CreataCRM, and this is the video 4 on getting started. Now the video 4 is job templates. Now what we're going to do here is that ideally the management team should be doing this particular role of creating job templates. Now from here, this is usually the first start they have, and the screenshot they have when they're managers, which is an overview of the whole business. Now first thing we would want to create a job template. To find job templates, you click on the admin section here, you click on the templates, and you've got a number of template creators that you can have. Now we're going to be focusing on job template for this one. So let's click on job template. At the moment there's 3 defined job templates in here. Now the one that we've got here is end of month jobs with all the list of jobs here. Now for this example it goes through an order of it from start to finish, and it goes through from starting a email send and goes all the way down to stock received. And you've got offset times. From a offset time is when you create it, the first one will do the offset time of 0, next one's 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, and so forth and so forth. So it's an offset time of the creation of the actual job template itself. Now the other point is this section here is for 3 hours and allocated time of 3 hours as well. Now we have a Gantt section in here as well. Now in the Gantt section in here, this brings the order along here, and we will default it to, for example, a week here or day, which will give you the hours along here. Now because I've actually done the duration as as 20 minutes, it just goes through the days and times here, and it displays it better on the actual day. Now what you can do in here is you have the ability to drag and drop these options and start sliding them down into better offsets. So the Gantt chart has the ability for you to drag the editor along here. Now the key thing about this, the other things you want to know is that you've got these lines that you have interconnections. So if I click here, these are called dependency lines. Now if I hover my mouse over the top here and drag it and then release it here to the actual start of the other task, this is saying that when you finish this particular task, it will alert you to the next task coming up here, and it will tell you that this is what you need to do. So for example, you can move it and say, well, if I finish this task, I've got to do these tasks. Now you've got other dependencies where you can do all these different elements, which is if I finish this, I can do this as well. So you can go back in time. Now if I can click on this, now when you want to delete it, you have to select it and then hit the, so hover it and it will hover over it and then click on the delete and it will delete the device. And do the same on this one and delete that one. Okay, so pretty much you've got this area here where you can go through the dependencies, and it will alert you from when this finishes. This will email you to say this is a task's ready. Now the other elements you want to do is you can change the order, where you can drag and drop and move it across and can move it around. Now obviously it may not make sense if the actual offset time is in a different state, and you obviously start seeing the Gantt chart starting to look a bit uneasy with this as well. So you just want to make sure that you correctly have a display where you've got the right order as well. So I'll move that back up there, and it looks quite neat there. But pretty much the dependencies will offset that wherever, if you complete it, it will email across. Now to create a new task template, click on new here, and I'm going to just create a new task template. You can click on the search button, so you can type in here test and bring the new test, or you can click on the magnifying glass and search the other existing task templates that you can choose that are predefined. Or I'm just going to click on the paper and click on a new task template to create. This is for a demo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just allocate 3 hours for that. Task type in here that I can leave it alone. The next thing is to do with the sign criteria. Now if I click on this pencil mark here, I can pop up a screen and I can build a criteria builder on when it creates a task. So for example, I click on the add button, and I'm going to say I use the caption. You can use caption. You can use username. I'll use username, which is probably better. Click on this drop down menu and I'm going to choose contains job, the user jobs. Okay, so this task template will create the user job when it actually gets built. Other things I can do is I can actually put descriptions in here. So you can cut and paste and put descriptions in the actual task type. And then you can schedule how long it will take on this. Now this is going to be 1 hour scheduled on the task template that will show up here. Okay, so I'm going to just save and close this. So this is a demo that I'm creating. So in this section over here, this is 24-hour time. So if I said I wanted 8 hours after the offset date, I'll just go 8 hours. But if I want more than 1 day, it is 24-hour time. You can't go 25. So what you want to do is you go at the end of here and you go 1 column, and that is 1 day after it. And now it's going to have a little windgen about it, but you can go save and close. And you can see it's now 1 day at the end. So now if I go to the Gantt chart and I click on week and scroll down to the bottom there, it's now gone to a week in here. So I'm going to go day view all the way here. It's 24 hours after here, which is 12 a.m. is all the default times scheduled on there. So that's how you add an item in a task in the job template. Now, pretty much what you're doing is you're just clicking new and adding the items, adding the offsets and the orders in there, and you can drag and drop it, and that's the ability to manage a job template and give times on that. So for example, if I want to now create a particular job template, I can go to the job template section over here and create a job from here. I'm going tools, create new job, or most importantly, if you just simply go to the products and jobs, click on the new button and choose monthly checklist, save and view. You now have all those tasks created, and the test one, and that should be assigned to jobs because I pretty much had jobs allocated 3 hours and the times in there as well. Now I hope that helps you, the detailed view of creating a job template in this section. Hope that helps, and there is documentation just linked to this section, or ask the people, there is documentations online for this that you can go through and make job templates for yourself to make it quicker for your staff to, when they create new jobs, they can use their job templates to quickly have all the tasks ready for them. Hope that helps. Speak to you soon.